I never imagined the truth about my wife's betrayal would come from the innocent lips of our daughter. For years, I believed Emily and I had built a life on trust, respect, and love. We had been married for over a decade, blessed with our little girl, Chloe, who was the very light of my world. To me, we were a family bound together, unshakable. But one careless slip of words was enough to turn everything upside down. It all started on an ordinary evening. I had just come home from work, exhausted but content, ready to enjoy dinner with my family. Chloe was at the table, her face glowing with the excitement that only a teenager can carry when she talks about her dreams. "Daddy," she said eagerly, "if I do well in school this year, maybe we can think about me getting a car?" I chuckled at her ambition, teasing her that she needed to focus on her grades before we even talked about cars. And then it happened. Emily, my wife, smirked and leaned toward Chloe. She said the words that would burn themselves into my memory forever. "If you want Uncle Stevie to buy you a car," she whispered playfully, "just put it in Daddy's cup." For a second, silence drowned the room. Chloe giggled innocently, not realizing the weight of what had just been said. But my mind froze. My hand stiffened around the fork I was holding. "Uncle Stevie, buy her a car? Put it in my cup?" The phrase was strange, careless, and yet dripping with an implication that made my stomach turn cold. I looked at Emily, her face paling as soon as she realized what had escaped her lips. She tried to laugh it off, tried to cover it as some inside joke Chloe couldn't possibly understand. But her eyes, those betraying, guilty eyes, told me everything. A storm began to rise inside me, louder than any denial she could muster. And in that moment, as Chloe happily went on talking about cars and dreams, I knew. My wife wasn't just hiding something. She was hiding someone. That night, I couldn't sleep. Emily lay beside me, pretending to drift off, but I could feel the tension in her breathing. My mind kept replaying her words. "Uncle Stevie will buy you a car." Who was Stevie to her? To Chloe, he was nothing more than some family friend, someone who popped in and out of our lives casually. But to Emily, he was something else, something dangerous. The next morning, while Emily was busy getting ready, I checked her phone. My hands trembled as I scrolled through messages, half hoping, half dreading what I might find. And there it was, threads upon threads of conversations between her and Stevie. Flirty remarks, heart emojis, inside jokes that had nothing to do with friendship. My heart sank deeper with every line. Then came the part that broke me, screenshots of transactions, him sending her money, her thanking him, and hints about how he'd take care of Chloe's wishes if she played her part. My chest felt heavy, like the walls were caving in. I wanted to confront her immediately, but something stopped me. Instead, I decided to watch, to see just how far she was willing to go with her lies. Over the next week, I observed everything. Her sudden late-night errands, the way she'd smile secretly at her phone, the subtle perfume she'd put on even when she claimed she was just going to the grocery store. Every sign screamed betrayal, and yet I bit my tongue, gathering evidence, waiting for the right moment. Chloe, innocent as ever, had no idea what was going on. She often mentioned how Uncle Stevie was funny, how he promised things Emily brushed off as harmless. Each time she said his name, it was like a knife twisting deeper into my chest. One evening, when Emily thought I was asleep, she sneaked into the living room with her phone. I followed quietly, heart pounding, and there she was, smiling at the screen, whispering softly, "I can't wait to see you tomorrow, Stevie." That was it. The last confirmation I needed. My wife wasn't just betraying me. She was grooming our daughter to see her a fair partner as family, and that was unforgivable. The next day, I set my plan into motion. I didn't yell, didn't scream, didn't even let Emily sense what I knew. Instead, I told her we should have a family dinner, just the three of us. She seemed surprised but agreed, almost too eagerly, as if a normal evening together would hide her guilt. We sat at the table, me, Chloe, and Emily, candles flickering between us. Emily wore that same perfume, her smile a little too polished. I waited until Chloe was halfway through her meal before sliding my phone onto the table. With one tap, the screen lit up, revealing the messages between Emily and Stevie, projected loud enough for Chloe to see. Emily froze. Her fork clattered against her plate. "Where did you?" she began, but I cut her off. "Chloe," I said gently, "do you know what Mommy's been telling Uncle Stevie?" Our daughter looked confused, shaking her head. Her eyes darted between us, sensing the storm. I scrolled to the message where Emily had written, "If Chloe wants a car, tell her to convince Daddy. You'll handle the rest." Chloe's face went pale. "Mom, is that true?" she whispered. Emily's mask cracked, tears brimming in her eyes. She tried to stammer excuses, blaming stress, loneliness, even twisting it into some misguided attempt at helping the family. But nothing she said mattered anymore. The truth was out. I stood, my chair scraping against the floor. "You didn't just betray me, Emily. You used our daughter as a bargaining chip in your affair. That's something I'll never forgive." Chloe began to cry, and I pulled her close, shielding her from the chaos. Emily reached out, but I stepped back. For the first time, she realized the walls had closed in around her. In the days that followed, I filed for divorce. Chloe stayed with me, while Emily spiraled, begging for another chance. But once trust is broken that deeply, there is no repair. I had lost a wife, yes, but I refused to lose my dignity, and I refused to let my daughter grow up believing betrayal was normal. Emily's lies had exposed themselves, and all that was left for her was the silence of a home she no longer belonged to.